Welcome, everybody. My name is Mike Chavez, and I am the host of Local Business Support Podcast. And this is where we feature business every week and get to know the owner and kind of allow them to share the best practices and these struggles, especially during this pandemic. And it's really helpful. And really, they're taking time out of their busy day to help get some more exposure. So it's very, very important that anybody that's watching this, if you guys can go on their Facebook page and can't take advantage of their services, which is the best idea to do, but if you can't, always like and share their page, because if you don't need the services, maybe one of your friends do, and that's just going to help them further their business. So you guys can do that. That'd be great. That's what this is all about. But also, you guys can also walk away with some really informative information. If you're an entrepreneur yourself, you can walk away, inspired, because a lot of that's something that I always take away from these interviews is something that just their drive, their mentality, the mental toughness, and you can apply that to anything you do in life. So, and then a lot of these videos that we do on here, I'm gonna share like highlights of these videos, and I post them in our Facebook group, and that's a page that's dedicated to local business owners, helping out local businesses. So if you're a business owner in Phoenix, Arizona, or anywhere in the surrounding cities, definitely hit me up. You can be a member. And also on our page, you can support that page as well. And then on YouTube channel, you can see all the interviews that I've done in the past. And it's, I got like 7 in there right now. So you guys can view them all on one page and take a look at them, and you guys should definitely get something out of it. If you like it, subscribe and like them. I really appreciate that support as well. All right, so my first guest I have this week is Kristen Mercado, and she's the owner of Tight Lengths. And welcome, Kristen. How you doing today?
Hi, good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, Kristen, I just kind of want to, allow you to introduce yourself and your business, and kind of just let everybody know what you got going on, how you got into this as well, and just kind of let us know about yourself.
Yeah, well, I've been living in the Phoenix area for a long time. I was raising my children. They're older now, so I decided to transition my life. I won't go into detail about that, but I wanted to live my dreams. I've always wanted to own my own business, and especially in the beauty industry. So I had some unfortunate events lead me to make some very intense decisions quickly. So I was able to get thrown into my dream about a couple years ago, just go straight to cosmetology school. So I decided at 36 years old, I'm gonna go back to school and get my dreams and live them. So I worked 2 jobs. I went to school full time. I was a single mother, struggled through it. I got grants and scholarships. I worked really hard. I graduated in January. I used all my previous degrees that I had and built it on top of that, and just went straight out into the world. I started in a salon right after graduation, got on my feet, and then just last week, I was able to purchase my own suites, and going from there. And just my ultimate goal is just to be, able to franchise what I believe in, and which is just really quality customer service, caring about people and caring about how they feel mostly. And that really comes from your outer appearance, whether people want to think that or not. It's your first opinion, it's the first impression. And if you, especially for women and men these days, if you don't feel good about yourself and how you look, then it's really hard to be who you really are. So, and I also want to promote more to the young girls that, your beauty really starts from inside of you. And anything that you put on your body is just an enhancement of who you are. So I think Instagram has just totally thrown it off and into this la la land of filters and unrealistic expectations. So one of my biggest things in my industry and my job in my business is to make sure that young girls know that you start off beautiful, and everything else is just an enhancement. So, and I think that's been lost, especially with social media and just with the studies that have been shown with the stresses of young girls and their anxiety levels and their, how they feel about things. So, and not only that, just women too. And, in my industry, I've learned mostly from everything is there's a lot of women that are struggling that, even though you're just a stylist, you're way more than that. they're there to get away. They're there to tell you how they feel inside, or you're there to, the littlest things, to checking if they have cancer on their head, to making sure they're not getting domestically abused. That's one of the things as a stylist, you don't realize until you get into it, that's how serious it is, so.
Right.
It's more than just hair for me. It's more than just, clippers and, barbicide, even though that's super important, but,
Right.
especially during the pandemic. But after all of this other things, that's really like the basis of my business, and my mission statement is to just really interact with people and make them feel good from the inside, and really to get to their core and what they really want, what their goals are, and to do it safely, of course. And I've learned a lot, and I really take pride in my schooling and what I have accomplished. And, so I put that all into my business and everything that I've learned and all the trials I've been through. And it just kind of came out as this beautiful piece of mess of a business, which is
That's
just
awesome.
happens to be crazy successful, so
Right.
I love it. I'm so glad it happened. So
That's great. No, that's great. And I agree with you on that too, because I have my 11-year-old, and that's something I always, I see those filters that are always on there, and she likes makeup too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's very girly, but like, you're beautiful without it. You don't need that, but anything that you do is always, like you said, it's an extension, or it just enhances it. That's it. It enhances your beauty, but you don't need these filters. It's not realistic,
Right.
So, but also the philosophy that you have there, I think that's so important for all business owners. And I think the successful ones aren't just about, I'm doing this to be rich, I'm doing it to make money. Like they more, I think the people that last and really grow are the ones that have that philosophy of a bigger purpose, not just, yeah, I'm here to do hair and I'm going to rule the world and I'm going to make money. It's more about, I want to make a difference. I want to impact people's lives. I want, I had this, it was a gym owner. I used to work at this gym for a long time ago, and the owner, like, usually you think of gyms are like meatheads, and but this guy, his philosophy, and he just kind of spread that to everyone that worked under him, was give our members more services than they pay for. And if you believe that philosophy, like, you're giving them more services, they like it, they're going to tell their friends, and then they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to, and you just grow. And everybody bought in, and that business, I mean, it flourished really, really well. It grew so fast, and it was a smart business plan. So I like that philosophy. And is that something that you've always been like that, with just kind of, or just because of you said you had to go through some challenges to get you where you're at, but
No, I've pretty much always been a giving person, and I've been raised really well, and my parents always taught me, you always give back to what's been given to you. So, and my kids, and I look at this generation and all the kids that I worked in the elementary school, as you know, and I just look at them as all my children. I look at this generation that's coming up, and it's like they need help. They need reality. They need somebody to say, you can make it. It might be hard, but you have to give back to each other. Like, all this selfish behavior and instant gratification, that's not how it works. So I just try to always be that way, because that's how I was raised. It's like you always look for, I was raised as a leader. My dad was a very strong leader, so it's like you're always the last one out. You're always, God made you strong for a reason. My dad would always tell me, he gave you these hands like mine, so that way you could save someone, because I would always be like, I'd always say, when I was younger, why did God make me such a big girl and so, strong like a man, whatever. And like, he's going to show you one day, So now it's like, when you're older, you realize that, your whole potential and what you were built for, as long as you use it and give back, and for the right reasons, will come back to you tenfold, like you said. So. And I try to do things, unselfishly. It's not because I'm getting anything from it, it's just because it needs to be done. It just needs to be done. So that's, and I have a really good faith base. So I, have other things that make me this way as well. My what I believe in. But other than that, I just think that it's needed. You have to be like that. And a lot of kids don't have that these days, because a lot of people are just, very selfish, and they're for themselves. And, it's understandable, but at the same time, we're stronger and we're better united than we are against each other, or not helping each other, or not taking that extra time of You know how they say the one person can make a difference, be that person. You know, that's a motto I've lived by for my whole life. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Be the change, right?
oh, you know, like giving somebody some food outside, or, you know, giving somebody a free service, like you said, you know, somebody down on their luck and giving them a break. You don't know what they're going through. So
Right.
you have to treat them like it's their last leg, you know? So that's how I try to.
I think it's so important when, you know, like you said, it's, you're giving, not expecting anything, you know, and I think that's where a lot of people go wrong or really kind of struggle at the end, is that they're always expecting something, and then it does something to their psyche that, you know, they can't grow that way. So,
Right.
you know, if you truly give, not expecting anything in return, you know, you're like you said, you're gonna receive tenfold, you know.
Right,
But
for sure.
now it's led you to where you're at now. You're,
Mhm.
you're, you know, whatever you've gone through in the past is where it led you here. And
Yeah.
now you're like, you know, when you're doing something that you love too, it makes it easier because you don't feel like you're working. You know, it's
I do.
you
I
are.
love it. When you finally find what you were meant to do. Like, it's such a crazy story because if you know me, I've done so many things. I have so many degrees. You know, I was like, I would get bored and be like, okay, let me go do something different. You know, the world is your oyster. But when you find something that you really are meant to do, it's just like, it's like a piece of puzzle that just goes, bleak, and it's just like amazing.
So you were a
So
teacher at one point, right? You were a teacher?
I was an office manager,
Oh, that's right.
attendance for a long time. And then I was also a dental assistant. I've directed a spa before. So I've done a lot of things. I have my associates in business administration. So
Was this like a dream that you've had in the past that you've always, when you were young, wanted to do hair and
yes,
styles, you just never did, or
yeah.
just kind of recently fell into like, man, I really love this?
Well, I was always on the business side of it, being, you know, the direct, like the boss, the manager, you know, doing the business end of it, the behind the scenes. But I would always be like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be the one doing it. You know, will I ever be that person? Maybe, you know, because I always grew up loving makeup, nails, you know, doing it forever. So, but back then it was like, oh, there's no money in that. You can't do that. So, excuse me. So I just went on, and it was just a hobby. You know, it was just something that I like to do. And then it just turned into really getting into it, because I was honestly terrified to cut hair when I went to school because I had a bad experience when I was younger. So I was like, I'll do everything but cut hair. They're like, you can't be a cosmetologist without cutting hair. I was like, okay. Well, I'm still very cautious when it comes to cutting hair, you know, because I know how I felt that one time, and it just scarred me for life. So, but I also think that's what makes me a really good stylist, because I'm not just like Edward Scissorhand, like, okay, we're done, you know, and you're like, oh my God, whatever. So I know how people care about their hair, and even just a little inch or a little centimeter means so much. So it's all about communication for me, and I think that's what makes me better because of the things that I've been through. So
Yeah, you put the customer first. You're in their needs, right? And that's not just. But I definitely think like some of these cutters, like I'll go to Great Clips, you know, wow, they're just churning and burning. They're not even like, you know,
right.
if I came back 10 minutes later, they wouldn't recognize me because, you know, there was no, it was just it's a burn.
Yeah, I just feel like and it's such an intimate situation.
Right.
You have to be comfortable. I've been in places where I've been in a chair and I just am like, oh my God, when is this gonna be over? You know, because you're like, you don't get along with the person, they make you feel uncomfortable. They're in your space, they're touching you. You know, it's like you have to have that, you know, comfort and communication with your stylist. So I think that's one thing that I'm naturally good at. So you can't like teach that. But I mean, just that caring side, and checking on them, making sure they're okay, and, you know, just especially the intense services I do, because they're sitting there for hours, you know, so you have to be, I brought you food, and I'm the type that'd be like, okay, what do you like to eat? Because I'll have it for you when you get there, you know. That's one thing. Like, why do you do that? That costs so much. No, it doesn't. That's that little extra thing going above and beyond that really shows them that you really care about them.
That's right.
It's not, and guess what? I'm going to remember that for next time, so you don't even have to tell me. So I could be like, you know what? Michael likes tacos when he comes to see me, so I'm gonna bring him tacos, you know. So just those little things, you know, because
it's an experience,
and I have to eat too. So I'm like, you might as well eat with me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
just those, I try to have, make them comfortable and,
you can
because
probably
it's,
like read people really well too. Like, some
yeah,
people are like don't want to be like, their space or kind of be talked to. Being able to read people is important, I'm sure, in your business.
yes, for sure. Just their body language, because, and
Hmm.
mostly it's, I'm always saying, if you don't like something, you got to say something. I just have so many people who are like, I never said anything to the last person that did this. I'm like, no, you got to say something. That's how
Right.
we get better.
Hmm.
You got to say something. It's okay. So it's your money. You're the boss.
That's
I'm
right.
just asked me to do. So, but guess what? There comes a world where if you don't communicate right in styling, it's like the color green to you could be different to me. There's so many different cues. You have to have good communication. So
Yeah.
that's the number one. So
Yeah. I know my son would say I was always picky, but I was like, I'm not picky. I was just like, if I felt it was too long, I would say it's a little too long. So do you mind if it's a little bit more?
right.
And of course they don't mind. It's like, but he just wants to just sit there and let them do whatever. Like, kind of, it's your hair.
Away. I'm always like, are you okay? Is this what you wanted? Like,
Yeah.
you can trust me. I want you to leave happy and perfection, what you want. Even though I'm like, I would never wear that. But guess what? It's not about me. It's about you. So
Right.
that's another thing about not one of those stylists where it's like, I don't want you to have that. You're going to have this. It's like, I don't believe in that either. So we're team. Me and my clients are team. We come together. We make a plan. I have very thorough consultations and your hair history. I want to know about you, what you do. I don't want to have you pick a hairstyle where you can't deal with it at work or you can't manage it. Just little things like that really matter. And if your
Yeah.
stylist, they'll really get in depth. It's not like we're trying to, be
But
creepy or anything. That's how we do our business. So.
I would imagine that, like, in your industry, especially, like being able to get that quick and early, that relationship and comfortability early. Like, man, I had a great experience. She did exactly what I wanted. I'm not going anywhere else. I need
Right,
this done again, so I'm going to continue to keep going to Kristen because
right.
she knows what I. So now, sometimes you can just sit and share. You already know what I want. We don't have
Exactly.
to have this conversation.
Exactly. And then you should always get better with your stylist. Before
Mhm.
when you started, it should always be a better experience every time. It should never get worse. Your hair should never get worse. It should
Right,
always get
especially
better. So
very
that's
cool.
what I run my business anyway. So that's what I believe.
That's good. All right. Well, let's kind of go ahead because I am curious. With the pandemic, I always like asking business owners. Once this pandemic hit out of nowhere, like how did it impact some businesses have really struggled, and I know the hairstylists, barbers, have been really impacted. So, how's that impacted you, and how have you handled it?
I think the biggest thing, because I was actually right in transition of starting at my new salon. Right, getting my certification and my licensing. I actually took my test, and 2 days before we were supposed to open the salon, they closed it down. So it was kind of like, it was really worrisome for the hairstyle industry because we weren't sure what was going to happen, and a lot of us go off of our clientele and we don't have any other, and especially for the whole unemployment situation, like we are independent contractors. So it was scary because if it wasn't, for the PUA or anything, like we wouldn't qualify for any of those things. So a lot of us were nervous. But then there was a lot of us were like, we're still going to go on the way we do because whether everybody realized or not, 90% of our degree and my licensure is being safe and sanitary. So we practice that. If you are a good hairstylist and you are, a salon owner, we practice that anyway. So the only addition that we did was add a mask. So as far as being clean and sanitary and treating everyone with universal precaution, that's something that if you're a good business owner and a real cosmetologist, is what you were doing anyway. So it wasn't a shock in that aspect, but it was just a shock in the drastic number of clientele just dropped off like nothing, and it's like, and then even the ones that did want to come, we were like, okay, should we go to your house? Should you come to my house? Should we be illegal and just stay open? Should we run like a nightly 24-hour come through the back alley type of situation? I don't know what about you guys were kids. So if it came down to that, it was like we had to do what we had to do. But at the same time, it was all about what you led into your situation, because even though we're safe, you're safe, because we didn't know. We didn't know at that time what this was, what kind of monster it was, how bad it really was. So I think it was the same situation everybody in. It was just uncertainty.
Right.
But especially, like I said, we were so intimate in our, and everybody, like you said before, the barber atmosphere, salon atmosphere, everybody goes there to get away, to be comfortable. And, I think it took that aspect away from it from a little bit of being that burden, that, place of, but now we have to be decked out like the doctor's office, like at least the salons or something. Yeah, where you just like, but as far as that, I know everybody got financially hit. I know that.
Yeah.
And then you have the ones that are like, we want to follow the rules, but at the same time, we're not going to go under either. So what is there for us? Where do we go from here? So I think we all band together really well. There was a lot of support, online. A lot of the businesses and brands that I use promoted free education during that time. So a lot of us hairstylists went online and got a lot of education for free.
So
cool. I did, out of this pandemic, I increased my technical skills, a lot of new techniques, a lot of educational that you wouldn't get for free otherwise, So, and it opened up a lot of things online. And like for our industry, it's perfect because we can sit there and learn right on Zoom, just like we did before. And it's free. They were opening up everything for free and all these certifications. And so if anything, that's what we did. If you were smart, you took advantage of that, and they're still doing that. So
that's great. And that's, taking the time that, just not sitting and waiting for something to happen, like, hey, if you literally can't do that, can you get your skills better so that when you're ready? And that's kind of what I've come across of talking to other business owners, is that the ones that are really doing well is that they were able to pivot, somehow, and get creative and not just, react to, we're shut down, now what? They're able to actually anticipate, and kind of think out of the box. What can I do? And like you said, take that time to get your skills even broader so that it opens up more windows when the time, you can open back up and take on more businesses. You're opening up your wheelhouse a little more.
And I think it was a nice time to pause and really, at least for me, and the timing that it was, to get, your business plan done. And because when, you get excited when you're a new business owner or entrepreneur, and you kind of miss things sometimes. And I think it just kind of slowed it down to where you could really dive into doing, your mission statement, your business plan, and people miss those a lot. And that's super important because, it shows your progress. It shows where you started. It shows, goals of what you want to achieve and what your brand means. Because so many times if we don't have those things in order, it just keeps manifesting into something completely different than when you started. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's good to, at the same time, you always have to represent what you first believed in. Because when people start getting money, especially in this industry, it changes them, and then you see all this money and you're like, wow, okay, all I want is the money. It's all greed. I want more. But we forget like how we started. Like we started with these, clientele that gave you a chance, for straight out of school. You got to remember where you're from. So I think that's also.
Go
ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying that kind of goes back to like, not forgetting your why. Like why you did it in the first place, why you got into this. Like, I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
Do you have any like, kind of told me a little bit, but have you come across any, like what hurdles have you come across that either you were able to overcome really well, or just maybe someone or having some, struggles now and hurdles that maybe someone in the Facebook group might be able to, help out that's gone through something similar? Anything like that?
As far as struggles go, I mean, I've always struggled in the environment of, how do I put this? Other women, having strong personality. I'm a born leader. I'm a management. I know what I expect. So I just have, high expectations for myself, my clients, and for my business. So I felt like when I came out and I went into someone else's business and it wasn't the expectations that I would hold, it was just very difficult for me. So, I mean, it's not saying that it was better or worse than I am. It was just different. So I feel like, but I feel like I learned a lot because it pushed me towards what I really wanted to do. So if I never would have had that experience, I'm grateful for everything. And it just showed me that, this experience showed me that you can do it on your own. And you don't have to deal with that, and you don't have to settle for, and I think that's what people get afraid of. They hold on and have someone else's hotel dreams because they're afraid to just do it. So my advice would be just do it. You're wasting another day that you don't do it, and another day where you can build your business of your dream the way you want it, and it's so liberating to do that and to realize and look around and be like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like, this is super happening. Yeah. And it's like, all those things you go through and all the hurdles and the struggles and the brick walls you put it on, if you let them stop you, they will. But if you say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I don't care. I'm going to make a way. If I got to stop and think about it for a little bit, but I'm never going to quit, I'm going to keep going. And, you don't give up. And there's so many opportunities, so much information. I mean, anything that you could ask for is out there, and there's so many people willing to help. So all you got to do is open your mouth and ask for help. So, and not be so, prideful to not ask for help. I think that's the thing too. When we're business owners, we're like, oh, now we're the owners. What are they going to think of me if I ask somebody for some help, but in reality, that's why we have networking, right? So we can all come together and say, hey, what are you doing? Maybe this will help me better, So that was one thing that I overcame really quickly, and I'm glad I did. But it is definitely scary when you sign that lease and you're like, oh, okay, can I do this? Can I not? What if I can't? And you just gotta not have any doubt and just go for it, because you're already at that point. Why not do it? So I was able to do that. And then just the whole I have 2 locations. So I have a suite I work in Prescott as well. So I have a suite in Prescott and down in Glendale. So my biggest struggle right now as a stylist is I use Square appointments. So I like that because it's free service. So if anybody doesn't have that, I would recommend that. It's amazing. It has a lot of tools. It's called Square Appointments, the Square reader, but it's called Square Appointments. So you can utilize it for a lot of different things, but it's mostly a POS system, but it also keeps my clientele. I can sell products on there. They can book their own appointments. I take deposits. It stores all their information safely. I have a lot of follow-up on there. You can customize everything, and it's free. So, and I mean, they take the percentage from when you do transactions, but all the business end of it is all free. So unless you want to, upgrade or whatever, but it's pretty good.
That's cool.
And if you refer people, if you refer others, then you both get like $1,000 and no charges of fees. So to get your business. Great. Yeah, it's nice.
But Square.
Go ahead. It's having 2 locations. I can't figure out how to do. They won't give me 2 locations in the app. I have to get a whole nother profile. So that's my only struggle right now is, having to juggle 2 locations with 2 different apps and 2 different, databases. That's my biggest struggle because I don't have time to be, putting things in here and, but, and then also the visual consultations are very difficult. So like on the computer when you can't physically see or, the lighting's different that's pretty much it for now. And the in and out. See, I don't do cancellations right now, so I don't charge for cancellations because you never know. I don't want to charge if they're not feeling good or but it leads to a lot of we don't know what's going to happen every week.
Right. So in the beginning stage, you got to kind of take advantage of whatever you got coming in. So
So there's a struggle right now too of consistency of making sure the weeks are consistent when they're booked. And it's really hard to fill a day when everybody cancels, and if we lose the whole day, that's a lot for a hairstylist. So I think that's the biggest struggle right now. But a lot of when you have one fall off, I feel like I'm blessed even more. But I mean, you just can't get worried about that because it's just so it's not consistent. I should say the inconsistency is just the biggest struggle right now. So
yeah, no, That's a problem I think with a lot of businesses, is
Right.
is just trying to keep that consistent
Right.
flow of customers coming in.
But that's
So
why I do a private suite, so that way my clients are more comfortable. So
yeah,
that way, of an intimate environment to where there's nobody else. You don't have to worry about breathing anything else, or it's just my little clean steam place every day.
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's another reason why I did that too.
Well, what's the ultimate goal? I mean, what are we? What are you trying? Because I'm actually kind of amazed because I've seen your pictures of your clients and coloring that you've done on people's hair. It's amazing, and the fact that you just
Thank
said
you.
you just started in January. I thought you were going to say in 2019 you started in January,
No,
but you were just talking to 2020. That's
yeah.
pretty amazing.
Thank you so
So
much.
where you're at
Uh,
now, it's kind of amazing. So yeah, what's your ultimate goal here?
well, my ultimate goal before even all this pandemic and everything, I'm going to have it's going to be a experience salon. It's going to be a mobile RV party bus salon. So
It's
it's going
cool.
to kind of think of it as, okay, here's my scenario. This is how I built my thing. I have my girls, right? We all want to go out on a Friday night, but we're mothers and we're tired and we worked all week and we don't want to clean our houses and we don't want to get ready. We still want to go out. We still want to look good. So what? You call me up and we come and pick everybody up. We get them all pretty and we take them where they need to go. So
Oh, that's cool.
drink, eat, and then build it into experience. And then when I'm not doing that, with the party experience, I can do weddings. I want to be able to come to your house so you can just come outside and come onto my RV, and it's like stepping into a new world. That way I don't have to go in your house, but you don't have to leave. And then I can also go do my community service with that, which is what I'm pretty much focusing on as well. Is I would like to go in and go help the homeless more. I follow a lady called Beauty to the Streets in LA, and she really inspires me to go and just give people new looks for their jobs and just wash their hair, just make them feel like they're somebody. So I'm working on that, and then I'm also building into my business. I'm actually doing my first one as we speak. I'm starting a give back, and it's going to be 100% volunteer business of making 100% family hair wigs for chemo patients.
Oh,
So
great.
what I had a friend, her mother came down with breast cancer. So I've always had this idea, and I just said I'm just going to go for it. So before she went into chemo, we took all of her good hair, and she doesn't know yet, but she had all of her family donate some of their hair. And so I build custom lace frontal wigs with
Oh
their
wow.
family's hair. So that
Oh
way, when they
really?
come out of chemo, it's totally their hair, just the way they were before. So yeah.
Dang, that's great. I mean
Yeah.
that man. I mean that alone right there. I mean it's so rewarding to be able to
Yeah.
give that
It's
to
like,
somebody. Oh my God, that's so hard. Like
yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes it all worth it, right?
And so I found that as a situation because I wanted to do something for people that really needed it. And that I felt like if I can do this, they charge $5,000 for something like that, or wigs are so expensive. And it's like, but with that, you're giving them something, they're already worrying about so much. And it's also a piece of their family, a piece of them. So even though it's something so simple, it's just like, it makes such a difference. So that's what I'm doing as far as my community service goes. So for my business, so I'm trying to do at least one a month, giving totally free, just getting it going and seeing how that goes. So and
Yeah,
then
I
from there
mean
I want to, and then I also do I do extensions, which are microlinks, so that helps women that have like severe hair loss. That changes their life too because it gives them just their confidence back. So I can basically build your hair, and I'm also working on the men's end of it. I'm learning as we speak, building the custom toupees where you can't even see it. You don't even know they're there. It's just amazing. It's amazing how things have changed so much.
in a
So
short period of time. I mean time is flying. I can't believe it's already August.
I
But I
know.
mean it's still a very short period of time and you've accomplished a lot in just a
I,
short period of time. And
I'm
then
proud
on
of
top of it, during a pandemic, it's amazing. I'm truly
yeah.
impressed.
Well, it's very hard to just give it everything up and say, it's going to be okay. We can't live in fear. We can't live of the what ifs anymore. We have to just if anything, I'm doing it for my daughters to show them, you can do anything you put your mind to. It doesn't matter what's out there. It doesn't matter what we're going through. If you truly believe as well as you believe, you can do anything. Anything. I'm living proof. If you think of it, if you dream it, if you put your heart and soul into it, you can do it. And there's so much more that I've been through. It's like, to be here today and to talk to you and just be here to say that, yeah, I am doing this. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm very thankful, I'm very humble, and I'm just so excited. Like, life is just, even though we're going through all this, it's just exciting, and I want to make sure that everybody knows if we can come together during this, it's going to be even better. So.
Right. Yeah. And that's such a powerful feeling too. Like, and if you don't start with just step one, you can never go forward, man. You just got to continuously every day keep going, and keep going. And it's hard because sometimes you can do something. I don't feel like I accomplished anything. I didn't, but it's that consistent action that you continue to take that eventually in a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you can see all that little work that you did is now added up to this huge thing, So the more you can do that, it's stronger. And so that's great. I'm really, really impressed that you got a lot. You got a lot of goals. I like the party bus idea. That's great.
Yeah. My parents are kind of party bus, and I'm like, well, what kind? That's what party bus it is. Mm-hmm. No, but just to be, just to have fun, and I want it to be an experience. So
that's the thing too. It doesn't have to be outgoing clubbing. Why not make yourself feel comfortable, hang out with your girls anyway, get dressed, and then when you're all looking good, go out, have a drink somewhere. It doesn't have to be, anything crazy or anything. The drive alone is the experience, and getting all done, makeup up, and everything.
Yes, and then I want to actually eventually make it a franchisable business to where, like, they have salon suites now, but I'll have the buses all decked out, all ready to go, and you'll just lease those. That's and it would be, by you. So that way I'll support them. I want to support business owners and do that eventually. So that way I can show these young girls they can do it too.
Yeah, you got a whole plan. That's great.
Yes.
And I think that's the secret to growing and surviving during these hard times is just always being thoughtful and continue to grow and have a plan that you're going to consistently. The fact that you're already doing little things to kind of make those little dreams come true now, on top of everything that you got going on, says a lot. So that's good.
I'm very thankful for everything. So it's great.
Just real quick, like you kind of already gave a good resource. I always like asking that about application. So what was that one again? Square?
It's called Square Appointments.
Square Appointment. Yep, that's a good one. Any other little resources or applications that have made your business easier? If it's just for hairstylists?
Yeah, like I love the Salon Centric app. They have a lot of it's a store we use for professionals. It's a very good resource. They're a very good business. I also like, I use an application called Gloss by Redken, and it kind of saves all my formulas for my clients. So I use that as like a database that I like to use. And then I also love Instagram and Facebook. That's where I live. So, I mean, especially for hairstylists, that's where it is. So, I mean, everybody goes there to find their specific needs. So I try to stay active on there. And even though I'm doing hair all day, I try to go on at night. And that's when I do my networking, or Sunday, Mondays when I'm off. And, always, it's always going. The phone's always dinging. So it's nice. And then that's why those applications kind of come all together. So I can link the Square Appointments to my Instagram, and it kind of all links together. So you can actually put a button on your Instagram, which is what mine has, and then it goes straight to my Square Appointments. So if that makes sense, kind of streamlines everything together. So you don't have to go to different places. It just kind of comes up on one. So if you have that, and then it helps a lot. And then I also do, I don't know if you've ever seen on Instagram where you have promotions and you can promote or boost your posts on Facebook, but I'm playing with the algorithms and I kind of figured it out. So if anybody wants info on that, let me know for a good price. So I try to put $30 a month in my advertising, and that's what really gets me going, and I can alter like my audience and where it's being seen, and just $30 a month, and it's gotten me so many more clients. So
Great.
another good tool for everybody.
Yep. That's good. It's good. And like every entrepreneur that you always hear, they are saying that knowledge is power. So, and everybody
Yep.
recommends reading. You got any books that that you've been reading or you recommend?
I have a book now. I can't remember the author, but it's called Emotional Intelligence.
Okay.
And very good read. And it's more about life and how you are as a person, and I'm big on, it teaches you about your social mirror. So social mirror means how people see you. That's who you really are. It helps you work on who you are, just your emotional intelligence and your enlightenment to, what's really going on around you and why you're the way you are. So, and I think every great leader knows who they are, and that's what makes them a great leader. So.
Yep. And I could tell that's you got that going on right now. So you're very focused and in touch with your why, which is that's the way to be.
Thank you so much, because it's been a long time. I was like, what is going on? Usually it was what is going on? Now it's like, I know what my why is.
Well, very cool. I know you're busy. I appreciate again your time that you gave me today. But I just kind of want to end it with allowing you to let everybody know, where to get a hold of you, phone numbers, email, websites, whatever you want, any promotions you got going on.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Sure. Well, you can always find me on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you're listed, but I'm known as Miss Kristen Stylist. My business is Tight Links. So you can find me at tightlinks@gmail.com. My phone number is 602-743-7535. So I take calls as soon as I can, but I need to have messages left because I am a stylist. So, and I'm on Facebook as well. So you can find me under Tight Links. I'm located in Glendale. I'm on 5334 West Northern Avenue, in Suite 327. And that's my own private suite in Glendale. And you can also find me at Micro Salon in Prescott. So that's off of Ainsworth Drive, so on Iron Springs. So my promotions right now, I do have a promotion for new clients. It's a $40 promotion for a haircut, deep conditioned style, and a consultation for a future look. So look for that. And then I'm also doing I do a lot of refer promotions. So if you come to me or you refer someone, then I'll always give you a good discount next time. So I always run that. And then I'll be running, I do a lot of model promotions, so you can follow my Instagram. And if I have something that I need to work on or my skill set that I'm trying to get better at, I'll put a model call out. And then like for $50, you can get that whole look, the specific look that I put out. So I try to do that at least once a month. So that way, even if you can't afford it, but you still want to come and see, you can come and just be a part of it. And you help me out while I'm helping you out. So I like to do that a lot too. And I also give back too. So if there's ever a need or somebody needs something, or, I'm very giving. So if there's a need that needs to be met, I'm the one to call. So don't be afraid to call me. If you need a break, if you got a big job interview coming up and you just don't have it, I do a lot of community service. So
that's cool.
But I appreciate the time, and I'm so thankful that you gave me this opportunity. So I hope others jump on.
Yeah, I'm glad that you took this time and to kind of share with us everything you got going on. And I really enjoyed it a lot. And I really believe that you're going to, all your goals and your plans that you got going on is just amazing. And what you've accomplished in a short period of time, I have no doubt that all these other goals, future goals that you have going on is going to be done. And so, so I definitely recommend everybody, check her out.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're not going to see the last of this face. Be on a billboard.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
No problem. I'm glad. And yeah, everybody, again, actually, you know what? I always like doing this here. Share my screen. Facebook page for Kristen. It's called Tight Links. And all I did was type her name right here. Her information comes up. Look at all this beautiful hair, colored hair. And
Yeah.
look how simple this is. You gotta like it and following her, and then hit share and just give it to put out. Hey, check out Kristen at Tight Links. Does great hair. I mean, just take time to go online, check her page out, like it, share it. It takes less than a minute, and it helps her out so much. So, that's how you guys all want to support local businesses. That's how you do it. If you can go visit Kristen, personally, then maybe even your friends can. So, only way to do it is to share it. We appreciate that. Appreciate your time, Kristen. Wish you the
Thank you
best
so much.
and you have a good rest of the day. And everybody else, continue supporting local businesses.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye.